Jason, can you hear me okay? This is Mike.
Yeah, sure can, Mike.
Good, thanks.
You're good. Mike, what are those clubs in the corner?
Sorry?
What are those clubs in the corner there over your shoulder?
They are, there's some early 1900 persimmon woods and that I refinished, and some of my wife's grandfather's clubs that have refinished a bit. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
thanks.
You know, it's 8:30. I haven't heard from Jeff Hendren.
Hey, JL, I'm on
Yep.
now.
Yep, I see you, Mark. Thanks. Jeff's getting on now, so we'll wait just a second. Well, we'll go ahead. He's trying to log on, but we'll go ahead and just get started. He'll be here in just any time. Happy New Year. My wife is tired of me saying this, but now officially hindsight is 2020. So we can move on to 2021 and looking forward to other things ahead. So we'll call the meeting to order. David DeGraff is not going to be able to make it today, and he gave me his proxy. So anything we vote on, I'll be voting twice. And we'll go off, start off with anybody that did course reports. I know really not with COVID and the weather. A couple people said they didn't get to them, which is fine, but I know a couple of you did. So if you want to go over course reports real quick. Susan, I think you had one. Mike, I think you had one, and I'm missing somebody else had one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I had one.
I think. Yeah, Gary, why don't you go ahead and start for us today?
Yeah, there's nothing a lot to report. I mean, they finished the year pretty good. The weather kind of took a toll in the last few weeks on play, but other than that, everything seems to be working and going along very nicely at Brookdale and Kingswood.
Good deal. Susan?
So for Dogwood, again, all is well. On the days that it's nice, they are very, very busy. The bathroom up at the Met on the Brittany side has been remodeled, and all of the concrete has been put in there, so it's now ADA compliant. Looks really great. The Metfield extension is still under construction. That goes right across the cart path between 1 and 2. But I will say that the construction guys are doing a great job of safety precautions in that whole area. And that'll be a great addition for the community. And otherwise, the course looks great. Things are good. Like, they have openings for both in the clubhouse and in maintenance. So things look good.
Cool. Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, things are pretty straightforward. I think the report's pretty straightforward at tenured. I would just draw your attention, if you have the report in front of you, to the bottom of the page. Some things you may already be aware of. The range-specific parking has been done for some time now, right directly in front of the range. There's hope to be some signage there at some point in the near future to help with the overflow parking that comes from the trails and to really designate the range parking. Yardage markers there's some green paint. You've noticed, you've been out there, designate the yardage distances, which is good. The 50-yard distance marker is now in place to help us all with our short game. And then the short-term opportunities there, the new mats, according to Hillary, have arrived. They are not installed yet, but the plan is to do that in early spring, not to put them out, the new mats out so that they can get frosty early on and they kind of maintain their use going forward. And then the last point there, the lower tee boxes that's been overseeded. The plan is to open that into January, 1st of February, Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. And as you can see from the last point there, social distancing will be in place. There'll be a plan in place to space that out accordingly. So that's what's going on at the range, and answer any questions if you've got.
Cool. Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions for the reports that we do have? Oh, all right, excellent. I forgot to mention, everybody can see on the screen, Leslie T has joined us today. She's going to give us a little dress code and trends report later on. So Leslie, thanks for joining us this morning. Good to have you. Head on to Keith with maintenance. Keith, a lot of stuff going on, I know. So let it rip.
All right, thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Two apologies to start with. One, this report's going to be the longest one you hear all year, I hope. And second of all, there was a couple things that were sent out late that I forgot to get to Jason. I had them, but I forgot. So I apologize. That's where I want to start. I want to start with the Ozark Woodland landscape proposal. It's the thing that came out with a picture down from where the practice green is at Kingswood Country Club area right there. This group, you can read the detail there, but this group has been very helpful for us on the Audubon, on the Burksdale project for the last couple of years. The good thing about this group is they're going to furnish the labor to do it. They're going to furnish the materials, and then I'm quite confident they will be ongoing maintenance on it, and it's going to tie into the natural landscape. So what Winnie and I are looking for here is the approval of this committee to do this improvement in that area. So I'll stop right there and answer any questions you may have about that. I don't know if you need to have a motion to do it or not. Normally, this is similar to what a memorial bed would be, other than, you know, it's not our members. So I don't know if that's appropriate. Tom, maybe you would have an opinion on that.
Keith, exactly where is the proposed area?
When you come down the hill from the pro shop at Kingswood, Burksdale, and go down to where the practice green is, and you see that ridge behind you where the rock facings are underneath the clubhouse,
yeah.
that area that we had a big tree blow down there. We've really never done anything there. So it'll enhance that area for sure.
So it's just behind the clubhouse there on that downhill.
Below the hill, yes.
Keith, I don't, I mean, the committee definitely can vote on it, but I don't think it's required.
I would like to say that this group also works on the trailheads, and they are doing a great job keeping, again, turning the trailheads into a beautiful area. So I'm all for this.
Is there any cost or expense to us for maintenance or development?
No, they said, as they said in the proposal, they're providing the materials and the labor to maintain it. And it's going to be low maintenance anyway, because it's going to be native plants. It's not going to be a real formal look. So it'll be a low maintenance area anyway.
Can't think of a reason why we wouldn't do it.
I can't either, but I just want to make everybody aware of it.
Yeah, appreciate it. I think everybody's good with it, Keith. So yeah, no.
Okay, we'll give them approval and get started.
Roll with
And
it.
hopefully
Yep,
you'll
it's awesome.
see something happening. Second thing is I sent out some weather data. I sent out the rainfall data from 2019 and 2020. I sent that out for a couple of reasons. It's kind of interesting to look at it. But one thing I want you to look at is if you look at 2020 or even 2019, you can see the variance in facilities on amount of rainfall. You'll generally notice that east and west get higher rates than rainfall than down the valley. So I think it's interesting you see that, because it's going to tie into my conversation about frost line down here too, because in addition to rain being different at different facilities, temperatures and frost is different at different facilities as well. So it ties into where I'm going to go next. So that's just some data for you guys to look at. We had less rainfall this year than we had in 19, especially at Highlands. I think I don't have it right here in front of me. I think we were 60 something inches this year. And last year we might have been approaching 90 at Highlands. So we're closer to what average should be, but average is somewhere around 45 for the 72714 zip code, which is us right here. So interesting data. So the next thing I want to mention is the frost line and today's play. I think it's important this group has an understanding of what we try to do there. And another part of that is our policy to close golf courses at certain temperatures. So I thought I would give a real short rundown of this because we've had some questions and confusion like we have every year when this starts up. So first thing I want to tell you that today's play and Frostline, both are due up by 7 a.m. each day. The way that works, the superintendent comes in, he sends me information before 7, whether or not they have a delay, whether they're open, whether they're closed. Then he will post, the individual superintendent posts on today's play what the conditions are, including car pass. I do the Frostline on delays and closings. First thing I want to say here, today's play sometimes doesn't have it on there. And there's a glitch in that system that we're working with IT about, because if one of my superintendent gets on and puts his on and another one gets on within 2 or 3 minutes of that, sometimes it's not saved and they think they have it up and they don't. If that's the case, you've got my Frostline to fall back on. And then the final thing, the superintendent first thing in the morning goes up to each individual golf shop and tells them what the rules of the day are too. So you could always call there. The other thing that's a little bit, we had a couple of comments on is about closing the golf course. We have a policy that states that on the Weather Channel 72714, if they have a forecast of 35 or below as the high, we keep the golf course closed. That's pretty simple to do. So, but it also says in that policy, the superintendent has the right to close the golf course above and beyond that. What happened in the snow a couple of weeks ago is we had snow that we didn't think was going to melt off in order to open, because we didn't think the sun was going to come out based on the forecast. Unfortunately, it did. But we're going to err on the side of protecting our facilities and protecting the turf. So that's what happened there. Remember, when these guys make these calls, it's a guess. It's 7 in the morning, and it's dark outside at 7 in the morning. So we may be wrong sometimes, but most of the time we're correct, again, to protect the facility and our membership. In addition to that, there's different snow at different facilities. Some facilities have greens that stick back in corners that the snow never gets off. Highlands can be an example of that. They have some greens that even in a good day, everybody else can open and not them. My point of this conversation is, even though we're all the POA, we're all in Bella Vista, not everything's the same at every facility. So we ask that you give us some consideration on when we make those calls. And when we make a mistake, we're sorry, but we don't mess it up very often, I don't think. So I'm going to stop right there too. If Daryl has anything to input there, anybody has any questions about that, I just felt that's information for this group, because you're out there with your groups, they're going to be asking you questions.
Have you been getting any pushback on this?
The golf shop received a phone call or an email from somebody on the snow day, and we were closed, and he said, "What's the forecast is above 35," which it was, but we had snow on the greens, so that's why we closed it. And I think they had a good conversation, and he understood it at the end.
Would this be a good thing to put in the weekly newsletter?
We have put this in numerous times. It's been in for 3 or 4 weeks running. We take it out and put it back in. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'll say our superintendents are a lot better than the weatherman.
Yeah, well,
weatherman's right 5% of the time.
We're going off the weatherman's forecast, which is never right. So then we add another variable to it, whether or not we guess right. So we will continue to go down the process. I think it's a good system for the members. It helps everyone. I asked Daryl if we could go a little later, but the problem would be, if we went to 7:30 and we go on 8 o'clock times to get from, if you live in the Highlands, to get all the way to Dogwood, would push it. So you need to know a little bit in advance. So we're not going to change anything. This is just informational for y'all. All right, the next thing I want to talk about that's going to be a major impact to golf at Country Club and getting to and from the clubhouse itself going forward is the 340 road project that is going to be going on over there, where they're widening bridges, they're adding a tunnel for carts, they're widening the golf cart bridge. It's going to be kind of a mess to start with. You see some digging and things going on over there right now. That is my staff extending our irrigation line on the 6T side. We're going to have that done. The contractor will be here tomorrow. We'll have that done by the end of the week. And then we're going to end up having to do a new irrigation line on the other tunnel, which is from 8 to 9, because they're going to be extending that tunnel out further, because the impact is going to be they're building a temporary road on that south side, and it's going to be over 6T. Half of 6T will be gone. And we will only have one tunnel to use at a time. They are going to close the tunnel on 8 and 9 first, extend it, get it back open, Once we get it open, then they will go to the other tunnel, which takes you from 5 to 6. What you need to know about this is they're telling us this is a 2-year project. So 2 years from start date, which was supposed to be June of 2020. And I was just in a meeting with with a contractor moving the city water lines, Max water lines. They're going to start that in about 2 weeks. They're going to reroute that all the way down the left side of 5, go bore under the road. They're going to bore under the creek. Anyway, all those utilities have to be moved before the road department can even start construction. In that meeting, there was an Arkansas DOT representative in there. And he just said in passing that he does not anticipate any construction to start on that road till April. So it keeps moving back. My prediction is they're going to do the first piece of work the week that the Advanced Pro Tour gets here, is what I figure is going to happen. But we are working with the golf shop right now. We have plans for how to take carts around, how to keep it open, how to get from Tanyard. But I'm just going to say it's going to be quite challenging for everybody, including me, because I'm going to have to take our equipment across the road over the top of the road because I will have no other access. So as we get closer, I will keep this group updated on what the plans are. Just know this is coming, and it's going to be a challenge for everybody, including the bike trail issue, which we're working on as well, because we're going to go down. There's going to be a period of about 1.5 years that we will have two-way traffic through the tunnel from 8 to 9. And that will be the only access across there from Tanyard or as you play golf. So that's going to be exciting for sure. So I wanted to have everybody aware of what's coming, the time frames. They keep pushing it back. I get new information weekly. I'm just working with the golf operations people and Tom and letting y'all know what we're doing, what might happen in the near future. So that's that little deal. So the other thing I want to do is spend a little time talking about the projects and capital stuff that was approved in 2021. The route printer will be delivered next week, and we will start using it at Highlands next week as well to start working to protect our cart paths in other areas. So we're excited about that. Our other projects, the T-Box projects at Bella Vista Country Club and Highlands, we are in the process of getting our 3 bids to determine who we will use to do the project. Originally, we were talking about starting this in February and going through being able to have all the grass planted in the spring. I'm just giving you all a heads up that as I'm processing through this, especially since both facilities will have ADP tournaments, we may consider moving the work till after that tournament because it's going to be so disruptive. And then you throw the 340 project in at Bella Vista Country Club. I really don't want to be having too many things go on over there. But we're working at getting those estimates, and we'll be back with you on timing. The erosion issue along the creek and the bridge at Bella Vista Country Club, number 5, right where all that's happening. I'm in the process of getting bids on 3 engineers right now so we can get approval on one of them and let them start their work. And then they will be ready in time for us to do construction later in the summer, which is the best time because typically that's when the creeks are at their lowest point. We also will be doing work on the pump house at 18 at Dogwood. It's totally rebuilt, will be a rebuild. That's an in-house project done by the back division. And the other pieces of equipment and things that were approved will be just budgeted through the year as the time presents itself. And then my final thing is the current projects we have going on. The yardage posts that we decided to change from yellow to white and then redo all of those. Everybody's working on them, and I've told all the golf courses we will put them out together around the 15th of February, so they will be the same everywhere. The other thing you need to know is we've got some projects like replacing of planks on the bridges at Kingswood and at Bella Vista Country Club. We will do that work during the weeks that those golf courses are scheduled to be closed. Bella Vista Country Club is scheduled to be closed March 1st through 12th, so we will do that work then so we don't disrupt golf additionally. Kingswood will be closed the 15th through the 26th of February, so we would do that work at that time as well. The other thing they would do when the facilities are closed, if the weather allows, they'll paint the logos on the cart paths for those forward tees that are out in the fairway. So they'll be clear and clean and able to be seen once the real golf season starts. You will notice that we are burning some debris. We worked through the fire department to get permission to do it, and we've never had any issues with it. But if you see smoke, that's what it is, probably, if it's on the golf course, and we're working with the fire department on that. Also, the crews will be doing their spring pre-emerge apps when they're closed, if possible, over the next 4 or 5 weeks. So if you see someone out there with a sprayer, please give them a little leadway as they work through that. And then the final thing, and this one I'm really excited about, and I'm working with David Welcher with this, we're doing a waste bunker on the left side of number 17 at Dogwood. That's just a terrible area over there. It's just rock, shade, no grass. So we're going to do a waste bunker over there that down that side, which will, with some swells to take the water off, it'll slow golf balls down as they go that way. And you might end up in that sand in the waste bunker. Just so everybody's aware of it, a waste bunker versus a regular bunker under normal conditions is they're not raked. They may have a few rocks in them. You can ground your club, all the other things like that. So we're going to try to eliminate as much rock out of there as we can. We're going to try to level it a little bit. But our main goal in this project is to help the golfer not, when you hit it left, it just goes down that hill and you don't have any. So we're going to start that work in February when they're closed. And hopefully we'll have it ready to go by the time the golf season cranks up. So look for some delays there and some ground under repair. So those are really the things that I wanted to talk about. So at this point, I will take any questions on any of those topics or anything else you may want to know.
Yeah,
Not
Keith,
much going on in maintenance.
No, it shouldn't be. It's winter, right?
Good
Keith,
report. Yeah, Gary.
remind me what tee boxes we're going to put in, over tee box or red tee boxes we're going to go do, all of them or some of them?
We're doing 4 at Highlands, and one of them is on 8. One of them I believe is on 5. One of them is on 6. There's one additional one that doesn't come to mind. But Country Club, what we decided to do is that red tee on number 6, and we're going to expand that tee quite a bit. We're going to double it in size. The reason we chose that one, we're going to move it closer to the cart pad too, but that project, you're not going to have a tee to hit off of. So all the play is going to be on a small tee that would not hold up. So we're going to put our money into expanding that one to give us a surface to play on at Bella Vista Country Club. So you're going to get 6 tees done is what we're getting done. 4 at Highlands and 2 at Bella Vista Country Club.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Keith, I have
Anybody
a
else?
question.
Go ahead, Jen.
At the Country Club between the bridge between 8 and 9, are you going to enlarge that?
No, we're not doing anything to that tunnel. They are just extending it to put their temporary road in, and then they're going to take that temporary extension out and it'll be just like it was before. Any other questions?
Anything else for Keith?
Susan, I'll send you a little bit of detail so you, because I told you I would, so you're trying to write real fast on any of that information. So later today, I'll get you something.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.
Keith, I just want to add to that tunnel, Jen. Keith's guys did a good job. They put some leveling, what do you call it, tar or gravel in there to make it smooth. Once they go on and go back to that normal tunnel, Keith's guys are going to clean up a little bit. They've got some bumps in there, but we'll get through this first session, phase 2 of the 340 before we kind of smooth that out perfectly. We've had some customers and members complain there's a big bump in there, but they've done it this winter and it looks good. And we'll do more as it progresses.
That's good. My problem with it is the width of it. If I had the doors open on my cart, I've knocked them off before.
Yep, thanks, Keith. Daryl, you're up.
All right, 2020, as Jason said, Happy New Year, everybody. It's behind us. If we look at my report that I've done, total rounds, This is cool to see. 166,000 rounds of golf in Bella Vista in 2020 with a limited tee sheet and single riders. The team has done phenomenal. I want to thank the membership for bearing with us as we got through all the COVID changes, working with us as we move tee times around. The availability of tee times got tight due to carts, not because we didn't have open spots on the tee time. If you're willing to walk, you can come and play. We'll make it happen. But if you have a look, that's 29,000 over last year, which is phenomenal. What we did is I did something different this time, and I broke it down. If you have a look on annual rounds and pay as you play rounds, if you look at 18, its annuals have always been about 1,000 above pay as you play, all the way down through 18 and 19. Then you get to 20, and you look at the huge jump as pay as you play. There are a couple factors that have influenced that. One is our price with the new 2020 assessment has decreased, so it's making more affordable for people to come out and pay as you play, whether it be Twilight at $18 or $33 in prime time. That's a heck of a rate. And as well as COVID's helped a little bit, golf has increased nationwide. The Bella Vista has stayed above the curve on that, on the average. So 12% increase average play across the country. We were at 18%, which is phenomenal. So kudos to the team, and I want to thank the membership as well. And the board for voting on the new assessment plan, and the members for voting on the assessment plan. I think everybody's getting their bang for the buck on that. As well as if we have a look, if we move down my list to range buckets, this is where the big bang for the bucks. Everybody who has an activity card gets free range balls. We finished the year at 56,000 range balls, buckets being given out. That is 43,000 over last year. I was going to do a percentage on that, but my calculator said that doesn't work so good. But that's pretty huge. The breakdowns as follows. Tanya Creek leads it. And that is still with restriction of bays and on mats at 40,000, Highlands at 13,000, and Scottsdale at 3, which is phenomenal. One thing I just want to put, we are still staying with COVID guidelines as we move through this pandemic, and we are taking summer groups right now, and we're going to be doing 3 months at a time. We just don't know when we're ever going to be opened up, where we can get back to double riders and get the staff out there. So we're going to do 3 months at a time, and Kelly and the crew's working on that right now. Any question on the numbers before I move on to some of my updates? I like it. All right. The next thing is bathrooms. Everybody will see that we've been working with MAC, and we're renovating some of the bathrooms. We've got the paints on the outside. We changed from the dark brown mud color to a nicer color. Looks a little more modern. Outsides are all completed. Inside will start at Highlands on Monday. So we'll be painting the inside, seating the floors again, and we'll be adding some heat and air units. I appreciate everybody for the support. Bear with us. It's a winter project. It's perfect time for when we close down for those 2 weeks, because we can't have members walking in and out while we're doing the floors and all that stuff. So my crew's on top of that, and shout out to Mac for helping us to get that done in a timely manner. APT, WAPT is rolling. We're getting ready. We do have some challenges on Country Club, but they are fine with the new yardages on number 6 on the par 3, and they're ready to come back. Another thing we added, AJGA, which is the junior tour. We just signed a contract. They will be with us this year at Highlands. We are having a 3-day championships for top 78 juniors to be playing. They actually have a qualifier on a Friday, and then they play on Labor Day weekend is when it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They've been reaching out to us to get back here. We hosted that event in 2007. It was a big success, and they want back, signed the contract, and we're excited to have the kids back playing at Highlands. I was actually talking to some colleges yesterday, and they were excited to come back because Highlands will challenge them. Good length, good course. I remember in 2007, we had a bunch of recruiting people fly in, have a look at the juniors, because it's your top 78 out of the 5 states, which is pretty cool. So that's exciting news on that.
Daryl, just on the AGA, are we going to do housing as we do for the APT?
It's a little different, Gary. It's a good question. I'm busy working the committee. They're going to give me a committee next week from the AJGA, and I'll be talking to the committee chairperson on that. With juniors and traveling, it's a little different than hosting an adult. So
Right.
I will get with you if they allow it. I know they have in the past if parents are traveling with them. But I will get the details as this moves forward. Last time we worked with this, and I was on the committee, was in 2007. But I know things have changed, and there are COVID restrictions as well. So bear with me. I will be reaching out to you, and I will have a committee chairperson. Ms. Ruth will do some of the volunteers. It's not as big as the APT. We're just looking about 20 volunteers a day. Because there's only 78 kids coming in. They play in the morning, they're off the course within 4 hours, and then we open it to our membership. So if the membership's worried about us taking a golf course, we will open up to our membership in the afternoon. But I'll get with you, Gary, if something comes up, okay?
Daryl, what's the date of the APT, WAPT?
Give me a second. It's on my wall right here. APT is
June
coming.
22nd through the 26th.
Yep, 22nd through 26th.
That's June, right?
That
Correct.
is June.
Thank you.
What about the junior tournament? What's the dates?
Junior tournament is Labor Day weekend. That is September 3rd through the 6th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else for me before Alex takes over? Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Alex.
Good morning, everyone. 2020 was a good tournament season for us. We've got started working on our 2021 calendar. So last year we introduced 3 new events. One was the Mission Impossible Tournament, a Parent-Child Championship, and our Brittany Par 3 event. All 3 of those went off really, really well. We were happy with our participation. We did have to cancel a couple of early season events that were outright, but of the 11 events that we held in both 2019 and 2020, 10 of those had increased participation. And the one that didn't, we actually had some questionable weather. So really, overall, a good season. We had very good participation throughout our calendar. So as we're going into 21, we're kind of looking at all of our tournament offerings. You know, our goal as always is to create a tournament schedule that caters to, the various needs of our members. We're always trying to provide, combination of social events, fun events, competitive events, and hold a couple of championship events just to fit all the different levels of golfers that we have here. So we're constantly looking at formats and rules and changing a few things around to accomplish this goal. So as we're looking at the 2021 calendar, you're going to see most of it is going to remain largely the same. We're adding one more event, which is going to be a season-long men's match play club championship. That's something that we introduced a little bit last year, and we're just going to expand on that more or less by popular demand. That's going to get rolling in April, and it'll be a little season-long type of event. You'll see it going all the way through the summer season. So the full golf calendar is really close to being able to be released to the members. We expect to have it finalized within the next couple of weeks. We've already got our first few event flyers out and posted. Our Couples Sweetheart event is going to be the first up, and that's going to be on Saturday, February 13th at the Country Club. After that, we've got our Spring 3-person scramble at Highlands. I believe that's last weekend in March. And then we're getting back our Shot in the Dark night golf tournament that we had to cancel last year at Highlands on a Friday about the middle of April. So everything is starting to get ramped back up for tournament season. For the time being, we plan to stay with tee times for all of our events. Hopefully we can get back to shotgun starts, for the social aspects of everything soon. But until further notice, we'll stick to tee times and kind of see where the pandemic takes us on that. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions on anything tournament related?
The two-man event that went through the year last year is going to be continued.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again this year. We're gonna get that information out and get signups started here about the middle of February. So start in the same time frame last year, somewhere in the April to May time period.
Yeah, I don't know if this question is for you or Daryl or Tom. We having a golf day event at Reardon this year? In the
A golf fest. Go ahead.
Actually, the Golf Expo is what he's talking about with the golf groups. Due to COVID restrictions and everything, they've got workout equipment in Reardon. We will not be having that this year. We're currently working, LT's working on something where we can get out to the membership, and the book's still going to be out there for the golf groups and communicate with the membership. But due to COVID, we cannot have the Golf Expo. The Golf Fest, which is the driving range deal, we will be doing fitting days, and those have already been scheduled. LT and the reps have been on top of that. We will have that released out, save the dates. We found, Gary, that works better, one-on-one fitting with the reps, professional fittings. It was a lot more professional for the membership, so we're not going to be doing a big demo day. One, for crowd control, and two, this other works better. So those are the two things. No expo and no Golf Fest, but we will be doing fittings through the year.
As far as the golf group book that is published, do we need to get information to somebody? Make sure that our groups get in the book?
It's a summer book, yes, and we're busy as we get all the golf groups, because some of the groups have downsized and canceled. Some have merged together.
Right.
So once we get that, we'll be reaching out and we will be putting together. That's normally a late February, March project. So we get it out for April, and that's kind of where we are.
So my understanding is that Kelly sends out a note to the golf group leader, and they fill out a form. So if you know of somebody who doesn't get that communication, they need to talk to Kelly.
Is that form been sent out?
Yes, it's been sent out a couple of weeks ago, Gary, to golf group leaders. We sent it to all golf group leaders that we had for last summer.
Okay.
So it went out, and she's collecting them and merging them all together and finding out the days. But we have found that a lot of golf groups are merging. So one that had 4 is now merging together. So we're reducing the number.
That was the tea time requests memo. Is that you talk?
For your golf groups, yes, Gary.
Okay. What about the book where there's a little description of what the group is, and is for people to sign up into that aren't part of that group?
Hey, Gary, sorry, and I know it's important. And time wise, could you get a hold of Kelly or Daryl to kind of go through that on the side? It sounds like maybe you didn't get something. Thanks. I know we still got a lot to do, so I don't know. Some of us got to keep rolling. So I know it's important. So, and I appreciate you bringing it up, but I like to keep rolling on. Thanks, buddy. Okay,
hey, Gary,
Tom.
Gary, just give me a
sorry,
call.
Daryl. Go ahead.
Gary, just give me a call after this, and I'll explain the timeline on it.
Tom, you got anything, sir?
A couple quick things. I really want to give a shout out to the golf team. Daryl covered this, but I want to go over it again. In 19, the pay-as-you-play member rounds were 50,600, and last year for 2020 it was 71,000. So that's an increase of 20,450. That is huge. I wish we could know the science behind it, whether it was COVID, the rate change, or both, or what combination. One thing that Daryl and his crew are going to be doing is they're going to be contacting people in the coming weeks that were close to the number of break-even rounds for an annual membership, and contacted them and see if they want to opt into an annual, which would be great, which would probably increase rounds even further. It's going to do the same thing for cart leases. Member services is really busy. They've converted everything to either online or via phone, and it's working very well. But since COVID hit in March, a lot of the annual golf memberships were renewed, in December and January. So they're having to go through and educate everybody on how to sign up online or sign up via phone. And so if you haven't signed up for your golf membership, try and do it online, call member services, have a little patience because they're doing the best they can with the influx of the number of people trying to get things done. And that's about it.
Thanks, sir. I can't say David because it's two of them. Welchel Brandenburg or Miss Jan. Does any board liaisons have anything for us today? Nope. There were no emails from the community, and we have no old business since we're in a new year, which brings us to LT and the dress code. So LT, all you.
So, I mean, with the influx of all the new golfers and our daily membership, we just wanted to clarify what the dress code was here on the golf course. So we didn't really change anything. We just kind of cleared the muddy waters, I say. So I think y'all were sent out the dress code just so it's not posted. I don't think it was ever posted anywhere clearly. Everyone has their own view of the dress code. So, and this kind of also gives our staff a little bit more to go off of. And so it won't be such a personal judgment call for us. And then we kind of get caught on what is the proper attire. So that was pretty much the reasoning to just kind of clear up the muddy waters. So were there any questions or?
So
Susan, I know you had one.
yeah, so is this the dress code for Bella Vista golf courses? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to stay with the, I mean, the thing that that concerns me a little bit is that on the website, none of this is published.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So that ends up putting our staff, not often, but occasionally in a position of being the fashion police.
Correct.
And having to turn people away because, usually it's women wearing a tank top is usually the thing that that does that. And my question is that with, the fashion going toward, you see the fashions many times that have razorback tops or tank tops in women.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really necessary? Same thing goes for cutoffs. I mean, cutoffs just aren't a thing anymore. And if somebody shows up at Brittany in cutoffs, do we really care? I mean, I'd like to see it just be very, very general and I also think that if we're going to have restrictions, they need to be posted on the website because that's where somebody would look to see if there were restrictions.
So Susan, when we, assuming this gets adopted or some version of this gets adopted, we'll make sure it's on the website and on the app so that people are fully aware of what it is.
Okay, I guess I'll just register that I think that it's unnecessary to be this specific. So
The other thing that I noticed that it talks about collared shirts, but it doesn't make any distinction for women with sleeveless or tank tops. Do we need to be that specific, or should we be more?
Nowhere does it say collared shirts.
Pardon me?
Not the new one, Gary.
Oh, not the new one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it just says golf attire is to be worn at all times on the golf course. So no swimwear is allowed. Shorts must be hemmed. So nowhere do we specify, so we kind of kept it in the largest part of the gray area as we could, because we do have the people at Brittany that, they're new to golf. They have an opportunity to play for free. Maybe they don't have all the proper golf attire or don't even know what golf attire is. So we didn't get specified on, short length, what bottoms to wear, whether it has to be a collared. So, I mean, I think we opened it up so we're not so stringent.
Okay, good. As I read this more carefully now, how about sandals?
We said golf shoes or sneakers. I mean, there are golf sandals out there.
There are a lot of women that wear sandals.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean,
Isn't
it
that
says golf
special?
shoes. So if they're golf, I mean, just no metal spikes. That's our, actually, I saw a pair this summer. Somebody still had metal spikes on. So.
I would like to jump in here real quick, just for the group. Like I said, this isn't a big thing that we've had big issues with. I've actually was reported on 3 occasions at different golf courses for the whole of 2020, which at 166,000 rounds of golf, bunch of new golfers coming out, it hasn't been a bad deal. And one of my pros, I witnessed that a lady was in a cut-off top, extremely revealing on the back, and he addressed the lady and said, "Ma'am, that's not proper golfer tie, you're going out." And she was, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was unaware of it." She purchased a shirt in the shop, put it on, out she went and played. And it was done very tactfully and very professional by the pro. But for 3 instances where we had to go on and visit with the customer, all 3 of them were very professionally done. And the customer was like, "I get it, no problem, and we'll move on." But if we can adopt this, put this on the website, like Tom said, it will just distinguish a little bit more. It's not fashion police per se, but it does work out pretty good if we have something out there.
I'm okay with it.
They sell in the golf shop, you can wear it. So like sandals, for example, I mean, if they sell it, then you can wear it. It's kind of the way I look at it. And with trims and everything going on, I personally am a traditionalist and like collared shirts, but I know that's going away. So I think it's something we need to do just to have a ground, the basis covered. But unlike Daryl, I haven't seen a lot of people that have not been somewhat respectful on their wear on the courses. That's just my opinion.
It's kind of helping all the new golfers coming into golf. I mean, just like, the rule book, we just need to get just knowledge out there. Maybe they just don't know.
Absolutely. So we need to take a vote. So if we can get a motion to start the process for the dress code as written, that would be great.
Move that we adopt the dress code as written.
Was that Mike?
Jeff?
That was Jeff.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Who's
Gary,
that?
second. Gary,
Okay.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody
Raise the graph,
opposed?
aye. Anybody opposed? That's probably the best way to do it on Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
It passed flying colors. All right, so that will be going forward. We'll make sure it's on websites and all that good stuff, and hopefully eliminate any challenges in the future. Is there any other new business for the committee that has come up? I know we didn't meet in December. It's come up since our last meeting. Nope. One last thing. As most of us know, we lost an avid golfer and a friend and a neighbor not too long ago, and then Mr. Sims. So please keep Jan, her family. He was a father, a grandfather, and a husband, and definitely an avid golfer. So keep Jan and the family in their prayers going forward as they adapt to a new life without David. So. On that note, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting. We'll see everybody next meeting TBD, February 10th at 8:30.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.